Welcome to Flipping Houses for Rookies, the only podcast that shows you how to take back your financial freedom and live the American dream by becoming a real estate investor. Without the banks, without the big wigs, and without the realtor's nonsense. This isn't about selling you coaching or some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about opening your eyes to the possibilities so you can make real chunks of dough, buy your life back, and become a free American. With over 400 episodes aired, we're delivering everything you need to know to find deals, talk to sellers, structure deals, and win big. It's time to take action, change your mindset, and claim what's yours. Real estate is the key to your freedom, and we're here to show you the way. Subscribe now and catch our latest episodes on YouTube at Flipping Houses for Rookies, because your financial freedom starts today. Now, here are your hosts, Bill and Pete.
All right. Yup. Here we are at another episode. Yet another episode. And another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies. Although lately, if you've listened to, we're on episode number 444, and if you listen to 443 episodes, you shouldn't be a rookie anymore, right, Pete?
You should be a little bit past that. You should be like a first sergeant.
There you go.
Something. Colonel. Admiral.
Good. Here is today's podcast title for episode number 444. Recent creative real estate deals done. It might be, let's start over again. In what might be our most revealing episode, we will expose raw, unfiltered details of deals that Bill, Pete, and their students are doing or have done in the last 90 days. If you stay all the way to the end, you will see clearly unveiled patterns that everyday folks, just like you, are doing to make five-figure paychecks on demand. Bill admits when he saw three of his students closing $892,000 in deal profits by following simple and exact principles, it was decided this can't stay a secret any longer. But the real bombshell drops when Bill plays some videos of these students thanking us for showing them the path. This isn't theory, Bill and Pete Grohl. This is happening right now, in real time. And this window will not stay open for a long time. The big secret is today's software is not the real story. It is using the proven creative techniques and overdrive. The software allows rookies to skip the beginner stages and speed things up exponentially. You're going to want to hear this. Miss this episode, and you're literally leaving money on the table. So just for disclosure, Peter, there is not going to be 1 ounce of theory today.
Oh, I heard videos. Videos, that sounds cool.
We're going to watch videos.
Like to see some videos.
So anyways, just for our housekeeping purposes, we are on podcast 444. I've been talking about switching the platform at 450. I'm not sure we're going to do that. I'm still like in a whole quandary on whether that's going to happen or not. I go back and forth on it. Some weeks I'm like, yes, we're doing it. Some weeks I'm like, eh. So anyways, just to reveal that, if you've been a long-time listener, I'm sorry for the confusion, but I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for everyone. And once I switch, there's no going back with me. And also, if you were to leave us, if you watch this video or listen to us, please subscribe to us or like us. If you leave a 5-star review and you send a picture of it to flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com, I will send you gifts. Very expensive gifts. Gifts worth hundreds of dollars, including scripts and courses, all kinds of things. So that's the plan. And if you want to know what we're talking about today, because I'm not going to promote anything in today's podcast, I'm just going to tell you what we've been doing and what I've been hearing, because it's absolutely too extraordinary. So I'm just going to go over what we've been doing. If you want to hear how we're doing it and what we're doing, you'll need to send an email to flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com. I put that link in the description, or that email address in the description. So if you are driving or you're doing something else and you're just listening to us, you can go to the description. You can find it there. Okay? So there you go.
Sounds good.
All right, Pete, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I have some bold claims to back up today, according to the description.
Mm-hmm. You do.
But first, understand this. It's sort of a sequel to podcast number 443, which is the one right before this. And it was called, Is the Golden Age of Creative... give that to you again. Podcast number 443 is called, Is the Golden Age of Creative Real Estate Actually Upon Us Rookies? And I went over all the things that are different in today's society, or in today's creative real estate. Because we're using, we're using technology and AI and robots and software, and it's completely different than just 6 months ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think 10 years ago it was paper and plastic signs and flyers, maybe ads. None of what we had today. It's like it's like 100 years beyond to me.
Right.
It's crazy.
So on that podcast 443, I revealed some of our new robots and AI tools. And I've I don't know how to say this. I've revitalized, or have been working with my partners to revitalize the excitement. Right? Because there is just nobody, absolutely, positively, definitely nobody has software like we have at this point. There is nobody. We've looked for it. Matter of fact, we have a few interviews with people, very influential people that have followings. They teach and they have classes, and they don't have software, and they're looking to come into our fold so that they can get their students to do what we're doing.
Oh my!
What's happening is I spoke to Sean yesterday, and he has an interview with a guy today. And what happened is he specializes in lease options. That's pretty much all he does.
Okay.
And the guy's asking him in the coaching group, like, where are you getting all these leads? How come you're getting all these deals? And he's like, Creative REI Replay. He's like, what is that?
Wow.
And a day and a half later, he's on the phone with Sean.
That's crazy.
So that kind of stuff is kind of stuff. So, all right. So on podcast number 443, the golden age of creative real estate, actually upon us rookies, I revealed some of our new robots and our AI tools. One, we dip an inbound. Oh, we did. I can't read my own writing. If you remember, we did an inbound call. I called Reba, who is our AI assistant, and actually had a conversation with her, and she gave me 3 offers.
Mm-hmm.
Me acting as a person, a seller. That's pretty cool, wasn't it?
No, that was really good because, I've been watching all the stuff developing and texting and, having an AI send text back, and it's pretty clever. Right. But it does still, sorry folks, the part that got me, she says, so where you want to move to? The answer was, my wife wants to move to Florida. And she goes, the Sunshine State. Yeah. To have a response like that is so human. It blew me away. That's the stupid thing that struck me. Yeah. Even if you know it's an AI, who cares? Yeah. She got the data. You answered the thing. Who doesn't use AIs every day when you call the bank? and the insurance company and your doctor's office and your appointments, right? Confirming your appointment for Monday at 2:00. Okay. Yeah. It's AI every place, so like nobody minds.
Seamus says hi, Pete and Bill. Hello, Seamus.
Oh. Hey, Seamus.
You want to see it again, Peter? Go ahead.
There we go. Hey, Seamus.
He's in Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So number 2 in that podcast, number 443, we've implemented our new Creative Real Estate Offer Blaster. Okay, which means we're the first to do this, in a system like what we're doing, right? And we're the only software company doing this within such a complex or complete system.
Right.
Right. You could probably find someone that do an offer blaster. I doubt it, but you might be able to. But for us to give you leads, right, and then automatically send them an offer the first text or two. Like what happens is the computer is, the software scrapes the internet and gets the data of the property, does a comp, and then puts it into our creative real estate calculator, and then devises a memorandum or an offer, and takes a picture of it and sends the picture, the JPEG or the PNG file, in text. And the amazing thing is we're giving our slot deal, the first offer, because when we do a slot deal, if you use the Grand Slam offer inside the system, right? What happens is the Grand Slam offer actually shows the seller how they could make 33 to 35% more money with the property than market value if they just wait 3 years to get paid off. In other words, they sell on a lease option, which we do for them, and we buy this option from our seller for $100, and we sell it to our buyer for 5% of the market value of the price of the property. So if it's a $300,000 property, it's $15,000. If it's a $400,000 property, it's $20,000. So you're buying the option agreement for $100, and you're selling it for $15,000 or $20,000. Now that's not new. I've been preaching that for 3 decades, right?
Sure.
What's new is that the very first thing that the seller gets is the offer, right? And within a week or so, and this is probably the most important part, within a week or so, we'll be releasing our new offer design. Okay, because the offer is just what's in the system already. And I came up with the idea that we should do an offer design that actually has the picture of the house in the offer. So what's going to happen is when the person gets the offer via text, they're going to see their house.
Yeah.
As the
that might get their attention, huh?
Right.
One thing that impresses me about this is, I've been doing this for several years now, and very often they say, well, what's your offer? What's your offer? Like, dude, can I just talk to you so I can get the data to give you the offer? Let me just throw a number out there.
Right.
But, is this a scam? Well, first of all, they're going to get a number that's amazing, and it's real and true. And then they see their house. So like, well, I got to find out. Right. Come on. Right. That's my house. They're going through the trouble. They can't be some kid in the, southern Pango someplace winging it. This is sophisticated.
Seamus says, wow, that's cool. No, Seamus, it is effing freaking over the top extraordinary.
Yeah,
it's cool, all right. Right. So the point is that right now we're sending the slot deal, but the system has the ability to set which deal structure you'd like to do first. So if you're a subject to guy, you can set the system so that, it's a drag and drop thing. You can set the system to present subject to deals first. If you're brand new and you just want to test before you invest type thing, like we talk about all the time, then you set it for slot deals. If you're a fix and flip guy, then you can set it to fix and flip.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Whatever you want to do, right? But the point is that they'll see their text. And number 3, what we talked about in podcast number 443 is we have AI agents do everything. Now, to give a quick lesson in AI, artificial intelligence, if you don't know what AI is, a quick lesson in AI is I use it a lot. I'm in mastermind groups that I pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month for. I have a coach that sits with me 3 hours a week just on AI. And I'm doing a 5-week challenge right now on another business, right? And the AI secret is agents should only do one thing at a time. So the bot should do one thing at a time, right? And that's it. And then you connect the bots together so you have multiple agents doing multiple things. But each agent or each bot or each AI assistant, whatever you want to call it, gets really good at that one thing and then passes it up. Now, Peter, I just finished my book.
You did?
I have an extraordinary book that I'm going to release. It's an extraordinary. I mean, I say that because obviously I wrote it, but it's called Leads, Deals, Cash. The secrets. Let me see here. Let me get this right. The secrets of creative real estate that everyone should know. No, that's not what it is. Leads, Deals, Cash. Creative real estate secrets you need to know.
Okay.
And in chapter 12, or one of the chapters, I go through how you should set up your organization, how you can walk away from a creative real estate business and operate it hands off. And one of the things I talk about in there is that I talk about the 3 or 4 positions you need to hire. I talk about what their KPIs are, key point indicators, or key. I always mess
product
up. Process indicator. No. I'm sorry. I always mess that up because I use a different language internally.
Well, statistics. The bottom line is statistics keeping track of your business, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's what you're developing, right? It's key performance indicators. That's what it is. I always mess that up. So it measures what each person's supposed to do. Thank you, Seamus. He says performance. Yeah. All right. So my point is that in the world, I am finding where I used to hire VAs and hire people to do specific things for me. I don't have to do that. I could build myself a robot and do it for me. And it's just how the world is. So what we've done in Creative REI Reply is we've built these robots with my 30 plus years experience and Sean's, 10 years worth of experience, and David, who's our other partner's 20 years worth of experience, right? So these robots or agents answer inbound texting and make appointments for you, right? So they actually make appointments for you. Once you get on the phone, which pretty soon you won't even have to get on the phone. We're going to have an outbound agent calling for you to pre-qualify, and then make appointments for you, right? We have an agent that does paperwork for you, which is for finding buyers. I mean, paperwork for the sellers and the buyers. Once you get the deal and they sign the documents, get this, the agent actually shows the houses for you. Okay? You got to put a lockbox on the house and it has to be vacant, right? But it shows the house for you. And it provokes them via text to send you an application. So it does 90% of the work for you, right? And then once you find a buyer, it does all the docs for you. So we have built over the last year or two these independent agents, and we release them, and we're like right now we're in beta stage right now. We give it to our existing clients. We pick a few dozen people, and if they give us an okay that we beg them every week and we go on a meeting every Thursday night, and we talk to them, and we beg them to break the software. Go break it. We want you to break it.
It's funny. It's true, though, I guess, right? It's a beta.
And we are the only software company that I know of. That doesn't mean anything that I know of, because I get around on the internet world, and I get around at different conventions. Like, for example, Sean just told me last night that he just booked. This is how our company is. He just booked. I think it's a 3-hour or 5-hour session with Alex Hermosi and his wife in Las Vegas at the end of March. He's sitting in front of Alex Hermosi and his wife, I think is Liz or Leslie, or I forgot her name, right? And they're going to work on our business with Sean.
Oh, my God.
Alex Hermosi himself and his wife.
Now, for people who don't know, tell us just one sentence, like what Alex does. I've seen his videos.
Alex Hermosi bought a gym and was living in the gym because he was broke, and he was trying to figure out how he could market the gym, and that turned into I think he does hundreds of millions of dollars in businesses a year, and he's I think if he's not a billionaire, he's probably close. He is a marketing genius. He is Dan Kennedy, stage 5 or episode 5 or whatever you call it. The 5th version. He's like on steroids.
5.0.
5.0. Yeah. I mean, he's just incredible, right?
Yeah.
But more importantly, they have an acquisition company, and what they do is that what they're doing is they've changed their model so that the acquisition companies, they're coming in for companies that they find companies like ours that are growing so well and doing so well and delivering so well and having so many testimonials, that they come in and at second interview, I think Sean didn't tell me this. I think it's like an interview, and they're trying to acquire companies. So what they're going to do is give them the battle plan of what they would do to expand the company, and then probably later on they would have the opportunity to purchase us.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right, so I tell you that just because behind the scenes we don't talk. I feel like I'm bragging about this, but it's gonna shoe into exactly what I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to show you today, right? It's going to shoe into all that, right?
Yep.
So the interesting thing is all these robots, as we talked about on podcast number 443, are all untouched by human hands. It's 100% computer software and robots, right? Smart robots. They're robots that I train. AKA Sean knows me well enough that he just takes my stuff and turns them into a creative real estate robot that has 30 plus years experience and had done hundreds of deals. I mean, some of these things, I take my phone calls and I upload them to the robot, and the robot knows exactly what to say because I uploaded my phone calls, because I have hundreds of phone calls talking to sellers. Who's got that? I mean, I'm sure there are other people, but not too many. But we're not here today to tell you all about the techniques, and although I'm kind of bragging about it because it's worth bragging about. That's all in podcast number 443, so you should go listen to it. Or if I were you, I would listen to it a few times because there's so much there, right? And get it, right? But for right now, Peter, let's move on to what. So does that make sense? No questions, anything like that? I didn't like.
That's good. I mean, we're all seeing it kind of happen, and I've been growing with it and using it. And what's weird to me is I'm getting used to it. It's not weird for me. I use it, and it's great. I mean, you start the business not at scratch. Sticking a flyer on a bulletin board. You're jumping in like, hello, I'm calling you to buy your house, or it's going to even go beyond that soon.
So, Peter, I'm not picking on you, but how old are you?
I'm 74 and a half.
74 and a half. And listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, my kids bought a computer when they were kids, and like, what are you going to do with that? And, okay, fine. Schoolwork, yeah. Dad, we got you an email. What do you mean an email? What's an email? That's how it started, because we didn't have that in school. I didn't have a laptop or a Chromebook when I was in middle school handed to me by the school. That's what kids have now. They hand them a computer and they have classes and they show them how to do it. The rest of us figured out, like you didn't have it either.
Nope.
But look how far it's come.
When I owned my auto repair shop, I was the first one in the city, I think pretty much, in the city, that had a computer. And my father-in-law at the time, God bless his soul, because he's dead now. Man, he mocked me. He mocked me. He broke my balls. Every morning we had breakfast. Every morning he brought it up. Within a year,
So you're gonna fix the cars? The computer gonna fix the car for you?
within a year, he had the same software, and it's probably been 30 years, and he still uses that damn software. Right. All right. So. So let's move on. And what I hear all the time that I don't talk about, I don't even tell you about it because I just hear about it all the time. To me, this is common knowledge. Yeah. I hear it all the time, either via email or videos or anything like that. So I'm going to start off with a video where I put some of the testimonials together. So I need to share my screen so people that are watching the film so sorry, I need to figure out how I could do this so you can hear the sound. I should have so I'm gonna have to do this a little bit differently. Hang on one second here. I should have I didn't have when I tested it before, I didn't have StreamYard open, so let me just do it this way. See if it will work. If not, I will pull my headphones out and you guys could hear it from.
Oh. Yep.
Oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to have this much trouble. All right, so I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Let me just do this. I got all kinds of things open on my screen here, Peter.
As usual, Mr. Hawthorne. Yeah. Wow.
All right, here we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I can hear me.
So just let it load here for a second. I'm going to play it for a second, shut it off so I can make sure you can hear it. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Creative REI required.
Can you hear it?
I heard it, yeah.
Okay, good. Here we go.
Has been a game changer. Game changer.
Game changer. This is mind blowing.
Let's start it over.
Creative REI required. Has been a game changer. Game changer.
Game changer. This is mind blowing. I've been trying to do this for years. I failed every time. I've got more seller calls than I can actually get to.
The only problem you will run into is too many leads.
I've had more sellers now than I have with all the direct mail I sent out for the past 2 years.
It's amazing. It's all-in-one business.
It knocked my socks off. Now there's no excuses, basically, for anybody out there.
It's the most impressive system I've ever used.
8 deals in 6 months.
8 weeks. I have 5 under contract.
We made our first $100,000 profit.
I just closed a subject to deal. I'm enjoying it every day. I really believe in the software.
This is the easiest $30,000 I made. And nobody is happier to see this than my wife.
The number of deals is out of control. You have to get this program.
I can't even express enough the return on investment, considering all the things I've wasted money on. This should be probably 5 times more than what he's charging, and I would still be it. I just can't think of any other system, and I've tried them all, the pay-per-click, individually, they amount to nothing. I just want to thank the whole team at Creative REI Reply. This is a no-brainer.
We were overwhelmed by the number of leads we got. It's been great for us. We are going to do our first closing, and we have 2 more houses under contract. The lead gen, I think, is unmatched, especially for the price that you're paying.
Creative REI Reply has been a real game changer. Before I found them, I wasted so much money and time dealing with so-called gurus who just left me feeling very confused and frustrated. I've closed some deals, and the system, it just gets better and better. So I'm just so glad that I found them. If you want to scale your business, Creative REI Reply is definitely the place to be and the must-have.
Just turned on the funnel this weekend and literally already have appointments set.
I've been trying to do investing for a while. This system works. This is hands down the best thing.
I'm spending a lot more time talking to sellers at a fraction of the cost.
We purchased several properties of fix and flip, made our first $100,000 profits. We've wholesale some properties. We just bought a sub 2 here. The system is that good.
We did get flooded with leads. We started locking up some deals. We did some lease option deals and sub 2 deal and a considerable spread. Lead flow is going to be the least of your problems.
I never really was good at the technical stuff. All that dirty work, behind the scenes work, did book appointments for me. People were looking to sell. It takes a lot of your time, sucking, mental draining activities off my plate, and allows me to focus on what really matters, which is talking with sellers. I'm excited to have found you guys, and I'm looking forward to closing many deals with the system. Thanks a lot.
A little bit over 3 months, and we have the deals under contract. Very, very happy with the platform. It's super easy to use. Love the support. Love the coaching. Thank you so much.
I had more motivated sellers than the one-man army could handle.
This is a no-brainer. You take my business to the next level, and we'll do the same with yours.
I've had nowhere near the success in about 3 or 4 weeks. There's nothing like Creative REI Reply out there, guys.
I've been doing creative real estate since back in 2009, and I've been through all the different schools. But what you guys have here for the value and how well it's organized, you could easily be charging 15, 20, 25, 30,000. Honestly, I mean, it's just everything's there and it's all in one place and it's automatic. So awesome.
I took a team of guys from basically knowing nothing to able to close deals within basically 1 day. So for real, bottom of my heart, thank you guys. It's been amazing.
Since I joined Creative REI Reply, I don't even know how many offers I've put in. It's been in the hundreds. We've had several closed wholesale deals. We do a lot of lease options. We have 4 under contract at the moment. So if you're thinking about adding more tools to your investor toolbox, just do it and you'll be really happy you did.
If you've been in real estate for any length of time at all, you know that there's no shortage of companies offering you a business in a box. Creative REI Reply is different. It's as if they're part of my team. The value is absolutely incredible. And on top of all that, the customer service is A1. You want to join Creative REI Reply. You don't want to miss this opportunity. If you're on the fence, jump off. This is your opportunity. Join Creative REI Reply. You won't regret it.
Wow, huh?
You should have Sean play that for Alex Hermosi.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, so let me see here. Let me go back. Yeah, and I'm not trying to sell the software here. I'm just talking about just everything that we talk about on this podcast, right? Is in that system.
Right? Well, yeah, that's the point. I mean, there's all these people. I remember my first weekend, I called you on Sunday morning, said, Bill, I'm at this thing weekend, and I know, I'm a salesperson. I know what's going to happen. They're going to go, oh, this is going to be X amount of money for what? So let me, I'll help you. I'll work for you. I don't care. I'll work for free. I don't care. I'll do whatever you're doing. But they gave me like a laundry list of stuff to do. And it was like, do I need the LLC yet? Should I call a lawyer? Ugh, it was stupid. And you don't even know where to start. Well, this thing starts and almost finishes for you.
Well, the last thing that I said is, which I meant in the description, So, Knight,
Yeah.
thank you very much. He said good feedback videos. Thank you for telling us that. But that's just the beginning. I got more, dude. Wait till you hear what I got to tell you. So, I said the last sentence, the software allows rookies to skip the beginner stages, right? And speed things up exponentially. When I mean speed things up, I mean get to your first deal and get that check.
Yeah.
Right? My reward for all of this, because I mean I'm not bragging here, but the obviously the techniques and the strategies are all mine, which would not be the way they are without Sean and David's software experience. It's very cool how our partnership of 4 people, we all have a corner in the ring. And we're all very good at that corner. And it just was a freak of luck that we all came together and decided to do this. It was a total freak of luck.
You guys are like the Beatles of real estate.
Yeah, there you go. So, and again, I'm not saying this to brag about the software, even get you to buy it, because there's not even a link anywhere for you to buy it. I'm telling you, email me, and I'd like to demo some of this stuff to you, right? Which I'm going to talk about at the end here, because I have a pretty cool deal for you. So, all right. So hopefully, what I've been telling you for some time is becoming real. So what's happened is 444 podcasts have accumulated, because as I write and as I have to explain things, as you're aware, Peter, I keep getting more and more realizations or epiphanies, because it keeps getting simpler and simpler. I keep condensing it down to just simple, easy laws. Well, if you just do this, and I feel like it's been a battle for me to get people to understand it and actually do it. Well, with the software and the training, and there's coaching and all that kind of stuff in this, I've done all that.
Bill, I'm sorry. You know what's hysterical? I remember years ago we would spend so much time with coaching students. Like, did you mail your yellow letters this week? Did you get your list from the city yet? Did you put all the stuff that they wouldn't do even? Oh, I'll get around to it. I'm kind of busy. They wouldn't do it. We don't. I just realized we don't have those conversations anymore. No. It's gone.
No. And I've condensed everything. Which I would tell you the story, but I don't think I have time today. Leads, deals, cash, creative real estate secrets you need to know. I've condensed the journey. I put everything into 6 stages, and I've generated a coaching system around the book. And I need to talk to somebody tomorrow about the software. I'm having a little trouble finding software to implement this. But it is coming out, and I guarantee you, Peter, that my dreams for a decade or 2 are going to come true, because I'm going to be able to teach the masses step by step, easily, with very little money, how to become very wealthy with real estate. I'm going to do it, right? But in the meantime, let's start off with some of my users who got. I had one of my users. It was a girl. I'm not going to tell you her name. I have names further on, but some of these people are too close to me, and I don't want to reveal their names because they're still working on some of these deals. But this first student that I'm going to talk about, she's in my coaching group. She found a deal that's worth $770,000. Right? They had it with a realtor for 14 months and couldn't sell it. Right? The student got an option agreement for $470,000.
That's $300,000 less. I mean, just wait a minute. How'd she do that? That's not 5%, 10%, 20, 30. Whoa.
She used the script. Now, when she first started, I thought, wonder if this girl is going to make it, because she was just anal. She was on the Thursday night calls just tearing me up. What about this sentence? The grammar, the above, the that. And she was just tearing me up. Right? But I stuck with her, and I kept going through it. Right? So she got an option for $470,000, which means there's about, like you said, about $300,000 between the $770,000 and $470,000. The interesting thing is she actually has a cash offer. I think for 350 or 380, and the seller is considering it, and she's going to make 5% of that.
Mm.
So let's say it's 380,000, right? Times
$19,000.
$19,000.
Yep.
She
Yeah. Isn't that terrible?
She doesn't own the property.
Yeah, and how much renovation did she have to do? How much cleanup? How many dumpsters?
To hell with that. To hell with that. That's the obvious stuff. What most of us don't talk about, people like me that do a lot of deals that don't talk about because it would scare most students and they would never do it.
Yeah.
The holding cost.
Oh.
Right. I got up this morning and it was 19 degrees in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Vacant houses don't like 19 degrees.
Nope.
Right?
We've seen the ice flow down the side of the hill onto the street in a town. We saw that one.
So how much does it cost for the oil bill or the heating bill and the electric and the holding, the taxes and the insurance, and when it snows? I just wrote a check the other day. I don't know, it was $400 or $500 for snow removal for apartments that I have.
Mm.
Right? I forgot. I think it was like 400. Right? Like, how much does that cost? Right? She had none of that. Right?
Yeah, she's true.
By the way, she found this deal 35 days after getting her Creative REI Replay software done. In other words, we have an onboarding call, and Sunshine goes in there and sets everything up. You know, your phone numbers and she had to do her what do we call it? The phone A2P setup, all that.
The
kind
compliance.
Of stuff, all the compliance.
Yeah. So that everything works.
Sometimes it takes a week or two to do that, but once all that got turned on, it was 35 days after she got everything turned on. Completely green.
Mm-hmm.
Never did a real estate deal before. And much like most of the people you're hearing, she had been trying for a long time to do a deal and couldn't do a deal. Right?
Yep.
How about one of my other coaching clients who has 8 seller contracts? 8 seller contracts within 7 weeks. One is an option agreement using $10 down. They use $10 down, and I know this because this person was on the coaching call or on the support call on Thursday night, complaining that when we generate the option agreement, the robot generates the option agreement, it automatically uses $100.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to change the robot so that we can have the choice of how much money you want to use for down payment, because she was using $10 and she didn't want to use $100. Right?
Well, $80 as opposed to $800, I guess.
So what happened is in 7 weeks, this student found a house that was worth $360,000 to $365,000 and wrote an option agreement for $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And is now marketing the property for $325,000 after we spoke, right? Which is $40,000 under market value. She's just on an option. She's not on a lease option, nothing. These are people that want all cash. These are all cash.
Yeah.
They call them up and say, I'd like to buy your house. I want to do a terms deal. Because I've heard this for a couple of years now. Nobody wants to do terms deals. Well, that's not right, especially right now. But if they say that, we do what I've been talking about in the last several podcasts, is we use an option agreement, and it's an option agreement is no different than a listing agreement for a realtor. Except we do 3 months instead of 6 months, and we don't charge them the 5% and all the closing costs. We do a lot of the closing costs. We save them about half the closing costs. Right? What we do is we make the buyer pay our fees, pay our profits, not fees, pay our profits.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So this is interesting because until recently, people didn't want to do a lower cash offer. They want to do above market or full value, and they'd hang up the phone. Do you feel a change in the environment, or is just pockets of the country where they're taking less cash than market, or being more cooperative, let's say?
Yeah, so what I found is that I changed my system. Instead of going through the closing costs and asking for a 10 to 15% discount, we're just doing 5% now.
Mm-hmm.
What did change was the average price of a house in America went to $419,000. So that means the average 5% profit is 20 grand.
Yeah,
That's
quite
what changed.
decent.
So
Yeah.
I changed my preaching. I changed what I do. I changed the training and the system to show people what you need to do is act like a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of getting listing agreement, because you don't need to be licensed to do what we do, right? Matter of fact, I haven't even approached that whole conversation because our system works good for realtors that want to do deals outside of their licensed state over state lines. They could still do
Mhm.
what they're doing now, except now instead of just doing it in just their backyard, they could be like us and go to better areas of the country that were more receptive to what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggest every user in Creative REI Reply has a low market and a high market. You know, a $250,000, $300,000 market and an $800,000 market,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Mhm.
you'll get much better training that way, right?
Yep.
So the last one I told you is, so she got a property worth $365, and the house is completely pretty. It doesn't need anything. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. She's gone and looked at it,
Yep.
right? And it's a pretty house, right? Now, some might ask, why would a seller want to do this? You know, my answer to that is,
I don't care.
who cares? They did it.
Yeah.
They did it.
We don't need. No one needs to care. It's just yeah.
You know, I'm being very, very mean right now. I'm being very, very mean right now. But I have two wives, an ex-wife and a new wife. I have two sisters, and I have two daughters. Right?
You're surrounded.
I'm surrounded by girls, right? And lately, I don't care what the girls say. You know, all six of them have their own ideas, right? And I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of trying to figure out girls. I'm done with that, right? So I'm just going to go by what they do, not what they say,
Good enough.
and that's how I do it. So it's the same way with sellers. You got 6
Mhm.
sellers, you're going to have 6 different ideas.
Yeah, there's not one reason. It's myriad. So you're not going to like put it in a bottle and use it. So just if it works, it works.
Then there's Tanya E. You just saw her on the video, who searched the internet for real estate scaling and couldn't find anything. She said she's been at it for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of dollars in software and programs and coaching, right? Facebook groups, right?
Sure.
Buying software, like I said, right? Lead flow is substantial with leads reaching out to her on autopilot. She has a lead flow system that is unbelievable. Within 7 weeks, now this is through the Christmas holidays. This is within the last 90 days.
That's right.
Now this is through Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and all of that stuff,
Mm.
right? She's got
Yep.
5 deals. 5 deals. All going to buyer closing. She doesn't have 5 seller contracts. She's got more than that. I think she's got 8 contracts.
Mm-hmm.
She's got 5 deals. 5 deals going to buyer closing. Now, what happens at a buyer closing, Peter?
That's when you get your check.
The accumulation of this money is almost a few $100,000.
Wow.
I don't know the exact number because I didn't write it down, but it's a lot of money. Okay? 7 weeks. She's got more than 5 deals. I'm telling you, I think she's got 8 or 9. Last time that was a week ago. I don't know what she has. She'll tell me tonight.
No, but you're saying the important thing: the buyer signed the paperwork. The seller can sell the paperwork, but they're talking the buyer.
Closings that are going to give her checks.
Yeah.
That are in the high over 100s. I don't know if it's exactly 200, but it's definitely a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then there's Guy G. I didn't put their last names in here. It's Guy G-Y, G-U-Y, and his last name starts with a G.
Mm-hmm.
Was a wholesaler before, right? He got into Creative REI Reply, and within a week or two, landed a subject to deal. Now, this happens a lot in coaching. Without coaching, and I'm not saying you have to have coaching, I'm saying without coaching, I hear of this a lot. I mean, I know for example, I don't usually name drop, and I'm not picking on him, but like Brad Turner over at Bigger Pockets, bashes subject to. Because his first deal, he didn't know how to do it, and he lost money.
Wow.
Right? And then I hear this a lot. Oh, I did subject to deal, and I didn't make very much. And like I just did a couple weeks ago, I did a subject to event. I did a 1-day event, which was 6 or 7 hours, just on subject to.
Yeah.
And I crushed it because I go through all the details and all. And I'm not saying that, I mean, there are other guys out there, but I am definitely, I know I'm unique because, like, there are people all over Facebook and YouTube. A young guy, I'm not going to tell you his name. You can figure it out, right? Mr. Peace, right? Doesn't teach anything about having 20% worth of equity in a subject to deal because he is not old enough to have gone through a downturn, which I did. So I want to make sure when you got a deed in your name, you have cushion. And I'm telling you, Peter, in my new book, I go through all of this stuff step by step. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm going to divert for a second.
Okay.
So this was going in my head for a day or two. One night I was dreaming. I kept waking up, right? And when I'm like that, I usually take B1 to keep me from dreaming. But I already had B1 in me. I'm like, what the hell's going on here, right?
Must have been important. Go with it.
So the next day I had a couple like flashes like in front of my eyes. It was like somebody took a board and put it in front of me like that, right? Just like they just put something in front of me. Anyways, long story short, I had to go down to the church and do something, and I'm coming home, and it's probably 9:30 at night, and I'm smoking a cigar, and I'm like, it got so bad, Peter. You're not going to believe me, and I don't care if you do or don't. Anybody, I really don't care. It got so bad that when I was driving, you ever see those TV shows where I can't remember, it was happened back when in our day. There was a certain car, I can't remember the name of the TV show, but the screen was on the windshield, and the person driving the car would talk to the screen on the windshield. It was like a dashboard thing, but it was a computer that was running the car, and there was a screen on the dashboard. There was a TV series with that. It was kind of corny back then, but it was very realistic, right? That's what it was like for me. I kept seeing these, and I was confused because I'm like trying to keep track of it all in my head. Like, oh, I got to remember that. Oh, I got to remember that. And I'm driving. And a couple times I pulled over and I wrote stuff down. Anyways, long story short, I get home, I pull in the driveway, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. Because I know it's going to be another sleepless night because I don't know what the hell's going on. So I open my phone, and on my phone I have Google Docs. I plugged my headphones in. I lit another cigar. And I just started with, and I wrote the index of the book. I need this, I need that, and I don't even know why. It just came out clear as hell.
Wow.
Now, I adjusted it the next morning, but not by much. And then I started writing. I mean, at this point, I think the book is, not that people understand this, probably about 36 or 38,000 words that I've written in the last 10 days. Right? And that's probably, I mean, it's 100 and something pages at 8.5 by 11. The book would be 6 by 9, so it'd be a couple hundred pages of the book. But it all came together in my mind. And that's what, I don't know why I'm talking about this. I forgot why I even started talking about this. But the point is that when I release the book, which will be soon, it's from these successes. It's from working from these people and telling them, do this, do that, do this, do that. I want to expand upon these things. Chris, thank you very much. Thank you.
Figured it out?
Knight Rider. That's exactly what it was.
Oh,
Chris, thank you so
Knight
much.
Rider.
Great memory, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Knight Rider. Thank you so much. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I remember, it was the computer.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing the screen, but I remember talking to the car. It was David Hasselhoff and the Black Firebird talking to Kit.
Yeah, like when was it, in the 90s or something? Way before all this computer stuff that we have.
Before
right?
it was real, it was like a joke. It was like Dick Tracy talking to his watch, you know, hello. Yeah, we do that now. It's a phone.
Kind of like
and you
the
have
Jetsons when we were a kid, having robots and making us dinner and shit, right? Beep, beep, the little girl with the wheel.
Rosie, we're getting there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the reason why I'm telling you all this is because these... Kit. He said, "Laugh out loud." You're welcome. That's very cool that you remembered that. Knight Rider.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to go catch some episodes of that now. All right.
So I'm diverting because oh my god, we're already in an hour. We're gonna go a lot more than an hour because I'm only halfway through. So we're gonna just carry on.
Oh my lord.
I don't even know how that happened. I just lost a half.
Okay, I'm turning the floor completely over to you.
Yeah, no,
go ahead.
I keep diversing. All right, so the next one is Guy G. He sold this Subject 2 deal, completely did it all wrong. He says that now that he's been in the system, and he made $4,000. Right? He wholesaled it and made $4,000.
Oh, okay.
Right. Then there's Robert R., who was in Texas and told me he's in our system for a year. And he's bought many properties, right, in Texas. So this whole lease option thing works in Texas, okay?
Yeah.
Because we changed the paperwork. The latest was property. The latest was a property that was listed for $675. You ready for this? Was listed for $675. How much, Peter?
675, comma 000.
$675,000. He bought it for $315,000.
Okay, like how?
Doesn't matter. He used the scripts and he talked to people. He quickly fixed it. He says it didn't need a lot of work. It just needed some cosmetic thing. And he sold it and made a little over $100,000. Right? Oh yeah, by the way, after he fixed it, which was not very long, it was like a week or two, he sold it in our system, in our automated selling system, in 12 days. So he put it in our automated selling system, which, by the way, is a robot that sells houses for you, in 12 days. Monet, this girl, because I was doing Sean and I were doing interviews, demos, because we wanted to hire a staff to do it. So we figured the best way to do it is to do it ourselves and figure out a system. So we were doing this for 2 months, and Monet was one of my demos. And I kid you not, she texted me 500 times. She had no less than 10,000 questions. She was extremely cautious, which tells me that she has been burned in the past.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She sends me a text. This was on Sunday. Eek! With about 5 E's and a K and exclamation point. I made my first call and got my first yes on the opening call. Meaning she didn't even get to the closing call. She said I shot from the hip the entire time. As I talk about that, you shoot from the lip, which means you're not really on script, right?
Yeah.
But they were motivated and said yes. Now I need to get my AI assistant to create my docs and get it on the market. It was super easy, just like you said. Right? I mean, her first call. I hear a lot of that, right? Dre B like in boy, says he can't believe how many great leads he's getting. And has walked a few local properties and is getting to sign his first contract. So he's like, I'll read it again. Says he can't believe how many great leads he's getting. I hear this every day about our lead source is just exponential, right? And has walked a few local properties. In other words, he went out and visited the sellers in the backyard, right? And actually, he's getting ready to sign his first contract. I think I saw in a chat the other day that he actually signed 2 contracts. Okay? Since I wrote the podcast, which was 4 or 5 days ago, right?
Yep.
Mike J says he was, and I'll show you all these videos. I don't want to do the videos because it would take too long, right? We'd be here for a couple hours, which I don't want to do. Mike J says he was here because of a partner. So he came into Creative REI Replay because the partner's like, we got to do this, right? He left to look for something else. He was after the shiny object syndrome.
Oh,
not really paying attention. I think him and his partner broke up. And he came back. He realized he was in the right shiny object to begin with, right? So he came back to us like several months later because we have a system that we don't talk about very much, but you can pause your system and not cancel and keep all your leads and not lose everything for a lower price, right? So he says it is the it's the quick ramp to the real estate highway. It's the quick on-ramp to the real estate highway.
Cool.
Peter C. says he came in expecting to do 1 deal a year. Okay?
Gee.
1 deal a year. I think he's got 11 grandkids. So he's looking to do one deal a year. But says our leads are so good and he's done 3 deals already, right? And he has tons of quality leads that are still, that are sellers who are serious. He says this system is amazingly efficient. Patrick is in his 70s and has 11 grandkids. And he says this is perfect for him. Now, he's only been in the system for about less than 2 months. And he's done 3 deals. Okay? Julie, because remember, all these are within 90 days.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right? Julia D says she has been doing real estate for several years, but could not get a deal. But here she now has several deals working and just closed on her first rent to own and got money now, money monthly, money later. She says the training and coaching is the best she has ever had and helped her get these deals. She wouldn't tell me how much money now, money monthly, money later.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a big number.
Oh.
Ryan T says he's been doing deals since 2007 and says he has seen just about everything. He says our text deliverability is in the high 90 percentile range. That's true because we've made our own software to do it, right? And he loves all of the automation and is doing a few deals per month because of the software. Few deals a month. A few means 2 or more to me.
Yeah, I will go 3 or more on few.
Yeah.
2's should be 3 and up. Yeah.
Robert D says when he first started a few months ago, he was flooded with great leads. He was overwhelmed. So he buckled down and since, in a few months, done 2 rent-to-own deals and 1 subject-to deal where he made substantial money. He wouldn't tell me. He said the scripts are awesome and the lead flow is the least of anyone's worries once in the CRM, meaning Creative REI Replay.
Mm-hmm.
Matt W. says he also was overwhelmed at first with the amount of good leads. He has only been at it for less than 2 months and is closing on a deal now for a big fat check. And has 2 more deals in the pipeline. He said him and his partner are really excited about finding this system and started using the cost of leads, starting using it, and he says the cost of leads are low. What he's paying for leads are really low. You can, in Creative REI Replay, I think you could pay as low as like 13 or 16 cents a lead, depending on which system you're on. Support and coaching is powerful and extremely useful in his success. Dante says he was able to find an inherited property, get it closed, and made a few $1,000 bucks. He said the proof of concept was vital for him. Now he has several deals going, and said he is a wealthy man because of this past year. Now, he's been in the system for a year. And he says, because of this system, I've become a wealthy man.
Wow.
Okay. So, I think I've proven my point, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. I went into our testimonial system, which has all these videos, and it's got dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of dozens and dozens. I don't know how many are on a page, 20 or 30. I don't know how many videos are on a page.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the first page like in a quarter or page and a half to get these testimonials I'm telling you about today. And I just picked them randomly. I didn't pick all of them. We have hundreds of testimonials, or a few hundred testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I just went through the first page and a half to get these dozen or so that I'm telling you. And these are all from the last 90 days, because they're all dated, right?
Yeah.
I could have played all these videos today, but decided that it would have been too much, right? But if anyone thinks that I'm bullshitting them right now, if anyone thinks that I'm making these up, if anyone is skeptical or thinks I'm full of shit,
what, we go hire a bunch of actors and pay them money to make videos?
No, I'm calling you to the plate right now. What I'm telling you to do is send me an email at flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com. And I will schedule a call with you and get on a Zoom call, and I will pull this podcast out and get the names of the people that I'm talking about, and I will show you the videos. I will play the videos so you can see them. Okay? I'm not here to sell you software. I'm here to brag about my system. I'm here to tell you that what we've been doing 444 podcasts on is coming to a summation. It is a golden era right now. And the reason why I say that is not because the president said it, because I was saying that before he was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I'm saying it because with technology and with the market changes and with the administration changes, it's kind of like the perfect storm to start not crushing it. I'm not talking about dealing with, desperate people that are losing houses and because of the economy and all that. I'm talking about good, healthy, motivated people that have good deals. And we're all over the country. I mean, on Thursday night, I do a support call that goes anywhere from 25 to 60 people on it. Every Thursday night. So what software do you know of that you could go on weekly with a Zoom call, just like we are looking at one another now on a Zoom call, right? And talk to the two of the owners of the company, every single week for an hour to 90 minutes. And ask questions and say whatever you want. Sean and I talked about this yesterday because we have a piece of software that we're getting ready to release. And he's like, he's talking about it. I'm like, Sean, we're going to slow it down. We need to have proof of concept. I'm not getting on the Thursday night call and have people bashing me because the piece of software didn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody doing this. The reason why Creative REI Replay works is not because we're smart. I think that has something to do with it. We all have experience. But more importantly, because we go on those support calls every single week for 2.5 years, we've worked out all the kinks. We've worked out all the bugs because every single week we do those calls. And most of the time, 3 out of 4 weeks, we're talking about deal structuring. But every once in a while, things come up and there's little kinks and little blurps and little things that happen. Sean will open his screen up and open your account up and go right in it sometimes, right on the call to fix it. So the software is that way because of the feedback from our users weekly. We're on a 60 to 90 minute call every week with everybody, right? So these testimonials are organic. So if you think I'm bullshitting and you think I got some marketing plan or I'm trying to scam you or whatever, go to flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com. Tell me you want to do a live Zoom, and I will open up my account and I will show you these videos, right? Also, I stopped doing this because of my schedule. We actually have 5 people that do demos every day, right? If you send me an email and you want me personally, me, Bill Hawthorne, not one of my staff, not one of my salespeople, not a support person, to do a live demo with you, I will open my account that Peter works on every day and our assistant works on every day. I will open my account and I will show you the inside of Creative REI Reply in my own account. I will show you my deals. I will show you the paperwork. I'll show you the amount of leads I get every day. I'll show you the offers we're sending. I'll show you all of that. Okay? I was going to talk about today, which we don't have time because I don't know how I killed the hour. But right now, Peter, I don't even know because I'm putting you on the spot. I don't even know. I can guess, but how many deals you got working right now?
I got 5 real ones and probably 5 others that I can't get back to because the real ones are really real.
Yeah. See, I would have said 6
deals.
or 7. So you're saying you got 10 deals you're working on, and 5 of them you're getting ready to go to closing.
We're getting one should be signed today, and the other ones are coming up. Yeah. Like we have an appointment going on in about an hour, a $400,000 townhome with our partner Phil. He's going to go in the townhome about an hour from now. Boots on the ground. And it's a $400,000 townhome, and there's no equity. There's very little equity. He bought it 2 years ago. So he likes the slot deal, and his buddy across the street needs to do the same thing. He's got to move. There's just very, very little equity in it. Mm-hmm. So they both want to do the slot deal. And it's not one phone call. I've been talking to him 3 or 4 times. Phil and I got on the phone with him, number of texts. So it's not like one call, yeah. No, this is going and going and going. So I haven't seen such real deals as this many till lately. It's getting something's going really good.
Right. All right. So in final, I'm going to make 2 statements, and you do what you want with them.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you make money in business is to have completed work that's exchangeable with somebody else. You need to have completed work that somebody else wants. They feel like it's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that completed work, like if you make bottles of water and you got a warehouse full of bottles of water and you got somebody that's having an event on the desert and they feel like bottles of water are important, you're going to make money.
Yep.
Okay. So you have to have completed work. Okay. The next thing I'm going to say is outflow begets inflow. So the magic that we have built here is if you can outflow every single day 20, 30, 50, like for us it's probably about, well we aren't doing all of them yet, but we will be next week. But if you could do, say, 15 or 20 offers a day, which is your completed work, if you can outflow your completed work to enough people, you'll make money. And that's what we've done so far. We've made it so that you're going to give 5, 10, 15, 20 offers a day, depending on how many leads you have, right? And the type of leads. That's your completed work that will be of value to some of those people. And that alone, so the outflow begets the inflow, and you're outflowing right now, not like we did before with a blindfold on. The system is generating your offers, and it is blasting them out to as many people that it can get, all automated, and it never gets tired, it never gets moody, it never gets mad, it never does any of that stuff. It never takes a day off. It doesn't need holiday pay. It doesn't need birthdays. It doesn't need to go eat lunch. It doesn't need to sleep. It doesn't need to do any of that. It needs to receive an inbound seller lead, convert it to an offer, and send it out. And that's that robot's job. And it's sitting there waiting to do that for you, just like it's sitting there waiting to do it for us. I don't know how many. I asked Sean if we can get this number. I wish we can get this number, but we can't.
Mhm.
But I'm willing to say at this particular point, our software, because it's ours now, it's not just mine, it's our software. Our community is posting in people's in their texting and on their phone in their pocket thousands of offers a day right now. If you accumulate all of our users
Mm-hmm.
and all the offers we're sending, and I have, with my partners, turned the corner and broke the code. Because everything that I've talked about for 444 podcasts is an offer a day keeps the dead away. So what's going to happen is I'm going to force you to either call people and make the deal, the offer you gave them, or don't think about real estate and just get out. Because it's not for you. It's black and white now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not done yet, because we're still working on back end stuff like the outbound, we call it REBA, the outbound call. I mean, what would it be like if not only you sent out a picture of somebody's house saying, here's your offer at 33% over market value, and then the robot calls and reads the offer to you and say, what do you think? Can we do a deal? Okay, let me get you over to Peter so he can sign the docs. I don't want to do the docs. We could have her do the docs. But I don't want to bypass you too much. Because that'll put you in danger. If I bypass you too much, then you'll you'll get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think there's another software like that in the United States, send me a support ticket. I will get on a call with you. I want to see it. And I probably will give you our software for free so you can go try it and make sure that it's better than that other software. So if I made my point, I am not trying to sell the software. It does that by itself. There's a whole machine that does that all by itself. What I'm trying to tell you is that get your head out of the sand. The golden age for rookies is upon us. And it's your chance to do everything you dreamed of for 5 days, 5 months, or 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years, or more. There is no more the day of training and coaching and all these things. And as soon as I release my new book, you will see the reason why. Testing before you invest. It's an entire book that takes you step by step, and that will be released pretty soon. And my intention is to completely flip real estate on its head. And then if you so desire after that, there's a do-it-yourself coaching program I'm going to come out with. That as soon as I find the right software, which is easier said than done, I'll know tomorrow whether or not I can actually do this or if I have to build my own software. But I'm going to have it done. Which, by the way, just in case you're curious, in final, this is my last thing. I'm making full circle, Peter. This is my attempt of creating a creative real estate association. And eventually having certified people. I originally dreamed this up by saying, oh, we're going to build a website like Zillow. And instead of offering the deals to the realtors, we'd offer the deals to the creative real estate guys. Well, with Creative REI Replay, I don't need to do that anymore.
No, it's you built it. It's nationwide. It's there.
Now, I think that we will, at some point, if I have my way, I've never said this out loud, if I have my way, we will have a site like Zillow, which is millions and millions of dollars. Thanks, Chris. He says that's epic. I agree. I think that if we have a website where people can go post their properties, like for sale by owner, and it automatically sends a feed into our system and then delegates it to the person in the right territory with the right zip code, and automatically forms the deal and does all the things we're talking about and sends an offer within an hour of listing it on the website. I don't know if I'm going to get that far, but that's definitely part of my think. Right? So I've got probably about, now that I got the book written, I probably got about 80% of this done. So it's become something I've thought about and been talking about probably for 5 years, maybe longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the first time I've said it out loud. I've actually got it is way more done than you could imagine. Mm-hmm. And this year, you'll be able to get you'll be able to get in that association in the ground floor. And that's where I'm heading. So enough about me. Hopefully you got that this is all about you. Hopefully you can see that at this particular point, I feel like I've completely standardized the creative real estate business. And I'm going to share that with you in my new book, because I'm going to make it, I've made the standard operating procedures. Right? I have the actual key performance indicators that you can keep track of. And I have evidence that I just gave to you that I've been practicing with these people, and they're giving me feedback. And all of a sudden, in the last 6 months, because I've made changes, we have all these people giving us tremendous wins. We had them before, but they doubled, almost tripled in the last 6 months because of the changes that we made. So it is a golden era in creative real estate. If you're listening to this podcast, you need to pay attention to what I'm telling you. Because you'll just see it just change every week. It'll change every month for sure. It'll keep changing. So thank you for listening to me. Make sure that you subscribe to us wherever you're watching us and listening to us. I'm sorry for going 21 minutes past the hour, but I think you understand the reason why. And thank you very much for all your support and listening to Peter and I, and thank you for being part of our 444 podcasts so we could figure all this out. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you to all my Creative REI Replay users, my coaching clients, and my 3 different coaching groups. Thank you for all your feedback and allowing me to have the opportunity to be able to have the day in the car of the big epiphany of how all this should be, and just having that opportunity to serve you. Okay, so thank you again. Make sure you leave us a review. Thanks, Chris. Thanks. He says thanks, Bill and Pete. Great episode. Last thing is if you want to leave a review for us, a 5-star review, you take a snapshot of it. Send me the picture of the snapshot to flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com. That is the link that is in the description. It's not a link, but the email address is there. All the links to Creative REI Replay and all that stuff are there if you want to use them. Or if you want to do a one-on-one with me, I will gladly do that. I will show you testimonials. I'll show you the system. I'll answer your questions. I'll help you debug or undo whatever's stopping you from doing this. Because the golden age is here, and you need to take advantage of it. All right? Over and out. And flourish and prosper this week. I know we will. Thanks, guys.
This has been Flipping Houses for Rookies. The American Dream. What is it? It's called financial freedom, and with real estate, you'll have it. Without the banks, without the bigwigs, and without the realtors' nonsense. Bill and Pete are 2 real estate investors with 30 years plus of experience, hundreds of deals under their belts, and a mission to change the way you think about creative real estate. Do be sure to like, rate, and review the show. And after that, hit up our YouTube channel at Flipping Houses for Rookies /streams. We'll be back soon, and see you then on Flipping Houses for Rookies.